War Eagle Auburn family, welcome back to another edition of E2C Network Live, where we get together, we sit down, and we talk about what's going on in the world of the Auburn family spectrum. Always heavy on the sports here, but if it's orange and blue, it is what we do. It is another post-game reaction show. This time, your Auburn men's basketball team taking down the Winthrop Eagles by the score of 89-65. We're going to react to it, break it down, talk about it, look at the stats, and anything and everything in between that we can think about to talk about this particular game. And we'd love for you to join in on the conversation as well. As we get started tonight, we always want to start each stream with the same ritual every single time. This is our check-in period, whether you are watching live on the replay, however you are arriving here, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Post right now where you're watching from, city, state, international, with a War Eagle. Let us know you're here. And all together right now, smash the like button on YouTube, smash the retweet button on Twitter, smash the share button, the like button on Facebook. All of those things are much appreciated. Do those things for us right now if you can. We will also open up the phone lines tonight for our Booster Club members at the Super Booster Club level and higher. That should be specified in there if you're part of the Booster Club. So go please check that out if you'd like to call in tonight and say something about this game. Not required, but you have the option to do so as Booster Club members. All right, let's talk about it. I've got a lot of things written down that I want to discuss tonight, but as always, I defer to you, the audience, on the things that you want to mention, that you want to comment about, that you want to discuss. So post those in the chat as we get started tonight. 89-65, your Auburn Tigers move to 3-0 on the year and get their first technically win in the Cancun Challenge, even though it is a non-bracketed part about that. Speaking of which, I will probably be putting out a video tomorrow or Thursday, just kind of explaining that a little bit. Not that most of you probably know how all this works, but I'm sure many of you are kind of like, what's this whole Cancun Challenge thing? It is basically one of the early season tournaments, showcases that most teams participate in to some degree. Some are bigger than others. You hear about the Maui Invitational, things like that. But this time Auburn is participating in the Cancun Challenge. This is the very beginning of it. So technically a win in there as well. Thank you for so many of you that are starting to check in right now. Appreciate you being here. John was here early, says, where are you? I was here the entire time. Just didn't go live until the game ended. You know the drill, right? It takes me a minute to get logged in and all that kind of stuff. 89-65 tonight. Taking down the Winthrop Eagles. Our eagle is better than your eagle is what I will say to that. I think when you look at this game and you look at the stats or the scoreboard here, you're like, this was a really, really easy win for the Tigers. And that is true. I think also most people would go to the route of, well, this must have been a terrible team. That is not true. Are they on the same playing field as Auburn? Clearly not at this point in the season when you're beaten by 24 points. And at one point where there was a 30-point differential as well, you can really start to see who's the better team. I mean, it was in Auburn Arena too. So, you always have that. If you're playing at your place, maybe you play a little bit better. It's a neutral site. Maybe you still play a little bit better. I think Coach Bruce Pearl gets knocked for this a lot, but I agree with him. And I love when he made fun of the media for making fun of him about how he'll say every team is up to the challenge of them as like the next world beater too. Coach Bruce Pearl does a really good job of placing teams that you have in your non-conference schedule that you're supposed to beat, right? You're supposed to be getting warmed up for everything. You want teams that you're not going to have as much of a challenge with, but you still want them to be somewhat of a challenge. So he goes out and schedules teams like Winthrop, who is expected to compete for the Big South Conference this year. Does that mean that they're up to the challenge of Auburn? Obviously not. But this is a team that will probably have a chance to be in the tournament at the end of the year, which is a good sign for Auburn. Now we'll see how the season shakes out for them. For us, I think they were runner-up last year for the Big South overall championship. So not necessarily just because you see 24-point differences here in the score, does this mean that this was a bad team? This just may Auburn was at home, was shooting really well tonight. I think Winthrop on a different night, maybe a little bit further in the season, could be a little bit more of a challenge. Kevlar says that he wishes we were just a little bit more crisp on offense, a little sloppy at times. Well, this is going to be the storyline for any basketball season at this point in the year. You forget that they've been officially practicing. Now, listen, off season, you never know. There's ways to have captain run practices and things like that, or scrimmages. They've been practicing for 2 months almost now, including the preseason. And now I've had 3 games together, and then there's an exhibition game as well. It's still going to take some time to get all of that together, to find roles. So one thing that I'm really shocked about, Kevlar, and this is one of the things that I wrote down, not shocked, I shouldn't say that. What I heard from Bruce Pearl in his press conferences and preseason stuff like that was that I was going to see a lot of guys rotating in. He is rotating a lot tonight. 11 got on the field. Did Leor get in there? I do not see Leor Borman, which is just sad. I want to see Leor get out there. But Babatunde got out there for some time. 12 guys got on the floor tonight. So they are rotating people through, but the starting 5 is still the same. Zep Jasper, Wendell Green Jr., Jalen Williams, Janai Broom, and Chris Moore. One question I ask you guys, you happy with that starting 5 3 games in? I asked it last stream. Would love to know your perspectives about it now. So that crispness that you were talking about, if they maintain this starting 5, these rotations the way they are now, you're going to start to see them get in a groove, a little bit more crisp like they did at times tonight, a little bit more efficient on offense. If you change things up, that can, obviously alter the dynamics. Chance Westry has been brought in. We'll talk about him more in just a second. Yeah, Winthrop is usually a March Madness team. At least they're having the opportunity to be there. So do not dismiss these guys. Do not dismiss them at all. Please do. Yes, Devin is on it for us. They posted a half tweet and people are attacking that as they wait for the final. I think it's one of those things at this point. You should know what's coming. Have it ready, accept your fate, and it's going to be, so part of the reason we put ours out, and I'm not saying we're going to be able to do it for every game. We put ours out in an individual tweet because I have to go live. I manage a lot of that stuff on social media. So it's out there on Twitter if you want to see our response to this game. Some interesting things I noticed from Janai Broom in the game. So we'll post that and contribute to that process in a little bit. Pretty happy with the starting 5, but happy so many others get to play. So that's the challenge and the great thing about this, right? So you've got a group of guys that all deserve to be out there. And it's quite often that a coach maybe has about 8 that they really want to play and count on. You've got really 11 that you're all trying to find significant time for. It's a blessing. It's a really good blessing. It's a challenge as well, but one that you're happy to have. I would also throw Babatunde and Leor into this discussion as well. Now, it is apparent thus far they're not going to see a lot of time this year. Not a super shock there, but I really, really, really would love to see them get some more time if we continue to play like this and put teams away. Wasn't it nice? It was kind of boring, let's be honest, too. Wasn't it nice tonight to just put someone away and just be done with it? It really was. It was interesting to watch we got out to that great start at the beginning and kind of maintain it. They fought back just a little bit, but not enough to be a real significant threat. And then we just came out in the second half and just put them away. And it was over pretty much from that run. That was a 10-0 run in the second half. Pretty good. Let's see. Hopefully no injuries. Hopefully the injuries heal quickly. So could anybody real quick give me the injuries that happened tonight? So Dylan Cardwell got knocked in the head and bled and took the referee forever to notice him. Chris Moore got knocked in the head too, but he seemed to be okay. Allen was kind of wincing a little bit when he came down after a little acrobatic play. Anybody else? Did anybody else notice anybody hurt or otherwise tonight? Obviously, that's something you want to monitor, but this is not a year where you go, oh, this guy went down. Who's going to fill into that role? got a lot of people that can fill a lot of roles in this team. And I have not been able to say that. I've been watching Auburn basketball, you know, consistently since I was probably 12 or 13 years old. And I don't really recall a time that we've had this much depth. It's weird. The 2020 team, which basically had 2 full platoons as well, about 10 guys, that was very close to this, but this is much more than that, which is really, really weird. I see that you're talking about Lane. Yeah, we're gonna leave it just basketball in this stream for now. That boy Chance is smooth. Yeah, a lot of hype about Chance Westry coming into this game. A lot of people interested in, is he the star of this team? We'll start right there. Sometimes we dive deep into some stats. Let's look at Chance Westry. You got 5 points in the night for him, 2 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from three-point land. He took those very quickly, too. He made his 1 free throw shot, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 personal fouls. And he's one of the ones that was leading with fouls. Zep, the other one tonight, which shouldn't be shocking in any way. This is a guy that's ready to get out there, do something, and contribute. So you can see he'd be a little bit happy to do some things. I honestly am as shocked with the amount of minutes he got tonight, 17, because there was suggestions, I think, there in Bruce's last press conference that he would get some minutes, but maybe 17 was more than I think, at least I was anticipating coming off of that injury. You just want to kind of ease him into it. That's pretty good sizable minutes there, but that shows you how comfortable he and his coaching staff felt with him playing on that leg tonight. Turf toe was Alan Flanagan, but to me, I couldn't tell if what he was wincing about was necessarily the toe or leg twisting or something like that. To me, you're going to have these things happen, right? The great thing is you have the depth, as Neil points out, that's not going to really affect you too much. Knock on wood tonight. All right, let me dive into some of my other notes for you guys. Keep bringing in your comments and questions. We already talked about the starting 5, and we talked a little bit about Chance Westry. If you guys have any other thoughts on him, you feel free to drop them tonight. And we talked about Winthrop being a little bit good or bad, or kind of that storyline. How did everybody feel about the shooting tonight? That was 2 concerns in the first concern in the first 2 games, and kind of carries back to last year as well. Well, while you guys think about that, let's talk about the shooting a little bit. So field goal percentage tonight, 47%. Not bad. Almost 1 out of every 2 shots was going down. I felt like we took a few more higher percentage shots tonight. We are 39% from three-point land. That's pretty good. Not bad at all. 9 of 23. 60% from free throw. Honestly, it looks a little bit better than it probably should. Not good tonight. 12 of 20. Y'all know my standard is 80%. Very upset with them about that. But all in all, tonight was a very good shooting night. Statistically, you know what? This is like 2 streams in a row that I've knocked this. I got to figure out a way to move it away from me a little bit more. If that sounds okay, I'm going to keep it there. Anyway, so I know there's a lot of still kind of concerns about that. Who's going to be the consistent shooter? I think tonight Wendell Green probably showed you that he's that guy, but who's going to be the one besides him, right? Who's going to be the one that gives you that extra little bit beside Wendell when he's having an off night? Tonight, though, pretty decent shooting night most of the way around. Janai took a lot of good, solid, high percentage shots tonight. Devin giving us an update. 114 replies on the first half tweet. Maybe their interns are just slow. Maybe their interns are just avoiding it. That's probably more likely. Big Simp, I asked that a little bit earlier. Look, man, when I love Leor Berman. I love, my guys. It's part of the reason I love Jalen Williams so much is because he's one of those guys that's paid their dues, done the time. I love seeing them get their chance. Leor Berman falls into that category a little bit and is a very good basketball player. Unfortunately, he finds himself in a position where he will not see time when there's 11 other guys that need quality minutes. Babatunde got in tonight. Leor didn't. And maybe there's something going on. I think there were injuries with Leor recent history. Maybe he's still dealing with some of that. I don't know. Georgia Southern logo. I see what you're talking about. Different colors, maybe a little bit different outline to some degree. This is where we need Clint Richardson, the analyzer of all things aesthetics. Jalen has improved his post okay offensively significantly. Okay, offensively. His post okie dokie. Is that what you meant? Or I'm trying to understand what you're meaning there, Dusty. If you're talking about his post play, maybe that's what you meant. I think so as well. I think Jalen knows that that's an area that he really needs to put an emphasis on for his own benefit. I love the fact that he is developing and he's been doing it for the past couple seasons, a baby hook. I love a good baby hook. If I, as a basketball player, post play, that's what you meant. I figured. If I was a little bit taller, like my coaches always told me I was a big man trapped in a little man's body. And I'm 6 foot, so I'm not short, but I'm not, big enough to play a big man type of role. I loved shooting little short baby hook shots. Jalen Williams, that's another reason I love him so much. The threes dropping tonight made you happy. I think a lot of people that made happy tonight. So let's look at 3-pointers individually tonight. We looked at 39% from the field, 3-point wise, 9 of 23. Wendell Green, 4 of 6. Shooting it from the logo again. Logo win strikes again. 2 for 4. How about Zep Jasper? Can we just give Zep Jasper some cred? A lot of criticism, not criticism, but just, honesty about his lack of offensive production. 8 points tonight for Zep Jasper. And 2 of those were 3-pointers, 2 for 4 from the field in 19 minutes of time as a starter. With Zep Jasper, saw you knocking down those shots. That's why he's in the starting lineup, because he's a all-around basketball. He's unselfish too. So Zep Jasper got the 2 of 4. Katie Johnson 1 of 3 tonight. Trey Orr took 1 of 4. Took probably 1 too many than I would have, but I'm not the coach. So Alan Flanagan 1 of 2 tonight. So that's everybody who at least made a 3-pointer tonight. Jalen Williams took 1 as well, and Chris Moore did too. They did not make theirs. So they did get to start to drop as a team, though. Let's see here. I like our center, our true center, who moves to create his shot down low. Very patient. Agreed. All right. So that was one of my other points tonight. And, we always have the conversation is who's your player of the game? So I'd love to have some of y'all who are here right now. Who's your MVP? Is it Wendell or is it Janai Broome? Because we're going to talk about Janai Broome here in just a second, but post who you think is your player of the game, because for a while there, it was Janai, hands down. I think Wendell's got a case again tonight with some of the things he was doing. So let me know. Let me talk about Janai Broome. First of all, probably on the slower end of, I think he's been the top 3 scorers each night. Am I wrong on that so far? But he was kind of had some slower, quieter nights. I mean, offensively, everybody was quieter the last 2 games. Tonight, the man just took over. Not only did he get his 1,000th career point, not only did he come back and seem pretty sure on his ankle injury that he's been kind of nursing, but the boy has an outstanding night with a double-double. 18 points to lead the team tonight, 13 rebounds. In 20 minutes of play, he's 9 for 17 from the field. Didn't take a 3-pointer. Our centers are prone to do that from time to time. But outstanding play from Janai Broome tonight. Really, really good. Like he's talking about creating his shot down low. Maybe I think people hear patience like, what is he being slow down there? No, he's just he's turning himself, squaring himself to the basket instead of going straight up, waiting for the guy to maybe jump and then kind of scooting over to the side and putting the ball back up. He's a good basketball player, y'all. Will he be a Walker Kessler? No, but he can be the best version of Janai Broome that he can be. And who knows? Maybe that's better. I'm not going to put that on him right now, but I think it's really good. All right, they finally posted it. 104 replies in 1 minute. Here we go. I hope that didn't kill the drive to do that. Hopefully we'll get up to, what has it been, like 300 replies on the post-game tweet most nights so far this year? I got to get those numbers up there. It's been pretty wimpy numbers. Zepp took responsibility and stepped up leadership. Absolutely, he did. Player of the game was Janai with 18, 13, 5. Yeah, he started off quickly with 5 blocks tonight, and then just it kind of slowed down after that. But he was having a block party. He was just eating up shots left and right, which was what our post-game meme was related to. You saw him go over there on the sideline and get him a snack. Yeah, talking not necessarily Auburn related, but the Kentucky-Michigan State game. Every year they do this same little showcase where it's the Blue Blood tournament. It's not even a tournament. It's just a showcase. And they do Kentucky, Kansas, I think usually North Carolina, Duke, and maybe, did I say Kansas already? But mixture of the traditional powers and blue bloods. Okay, put Auburn in there. I want to crack at him. Yes, Todd Golden is a former assistant coach of Bruce here at Auburn. And so I watched a little bit of their game last night, I think it was. Yeah, excited for that matchup when it gets to SEC play time. All right, let me go through some more of my storylines that I jotted down tonight. Smash the like button if you guys have not already. Help the stream out. A little bit more about Winthrop. We talked about them, getting destroyed by Auburn tonight, but having good players and probably going to be a good team for the Big South at the end of the year. Does anybody ever remember the last name Claxton in men's basketball? Well, Claxton was on their team, but this is apparently, I think, the brother, at least, or maybe cousin, but brother of former Georgia great Claxton. I remember him, not too distant past. He was troublesome for Auburn at times. So good pedigree there, participating with the Winthrop Eagles. So that was a really cool note to have there tonight. How did he do? 5 points, so not a great night. He fouled out. So we treated Georgia players like, or at least Georgia connections, the way we should treat them, by doing the whole step, sit down. I love it. Some people hate that, but I love that. Yes, we are a blue blood now. I need to start putting some respect on our name. All right. Other storyline that I had tonight. Did anybody else notice Yawan Traor's free throw shot? Anybody? Bueller? Y'all know I'm a stickler for free throws. Really just the height. I don't care how you shoot it, really, as long as you get it in. But it's always intriguing to me to see everybody's free throw preparation / shot. I can't really do it justice here on the screen right now because of just, constraints of equipment and stuff like that. But, mine is, very slow, come up, breathe, 1, 2, 3, and shoot. Like it's a fluid motion. Janai kind of does a similar start, but then it's like not Janai, Yawan, and he just kind of, and then like launches it at the last second. It was really weird to see. I've seen stranger free throws, but it stuck out to me tonight. What was his percentage tonight? 4 for 8, so 50%. Not great, but at least he made 4 of them. He got to the line the most out of everybody tonight, which was interesting. Just something else I noticed that was up at the top of my mind tonight. I love it when a guy refuses to sit down and get told. So this is one of those things in sports, right? You know it's coming. You know it's going to happen. Just let it happen. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna suck. Just let it be done and over. Don't do those little sit down and then sit back up. Okay. All right. Those are the majority of my storylines that I wrote down. So let's go back through some of the stats a little bit, walk through some of those things, any other things that you guys wanted to point out tonight. Don't miss your opportunity to hit them in the comment section right now. We have talked about Wendell a little bit. We have talked about Jalen and Janai. Chris Moore tonight, 4 points for him. A little bit quieter night than he's had the last 2 games, but still getting the start and still doing being a contributing factor in this team. He only gets 12 minutes tonight. Interesting. Maybe that hit to the head kind of limits him hitting a little bit. Hope that's not like a concussion protocol or anything like that to check on him. We've talked about Zep. Let's talk about our boy KD, our little psycho. Anybody else see that technical coming a mile away? I sure did. Good. Oh, am I going up against the Trump announcement right now? I just figured we had smaller numbers tonight because nobody really cares about Auburn Winthrop game, even though they should. But yeah, I figured there's and listen, here's the other thing too. So I'm not saying this in a way to complain or in a way to say that nobody else has a right to do this, but I went from last year being the only one doing post game shows to everybody wants to do them now after Auburn basketball, which is great. I think competition is great, and I want as many people to do those type of things. So that's really what's happening too. Is there's a lot of other people doing post game shows, not just on YouTube, but everywhere now. But I was specifically saying about YouTube. So you can help us continue to smash the like button, tell people to come here and be part of the stream. Let's see. Let's get over here to WT. War Eagle from Pelham. Good game with an overmatched team, like the cohesiveness of our team. Yes, I would agree that when you look at this Winthrop team, you look at the score, you look at the stats, it just screams overmatched. My question would be, what happens if you get an Auburn team the first 2 games where they were struggling a little bit more offensively? I think they're going to be a respectable team at the end. I watched their guards play a little bit, not nervous, but overplaying tonight from them. But I think they're going to be an okay team by the end of the year. They'll probably be competing for the Big South Championship. Our cohesiveness tonight did seem I saw a lot of guys really looking for each other, looking to set each other up on a pass or things like that. A lot of good things tonight. I don't have professionalism. This isn't a professional show. I appreciate that. I hope you guys don't ever associate me with being like too professional. Like that to me is just boring. But I hope you guys appreciate like the way I do things here. Caddy 2024. Sign me up. I will sign up for Caddy 2024. Oh, this is getting political here now. Not that I'm opposed to talking about that, but this is Auburn stuff right now. All right. I was talking about KD Johnson. His tech I saw coming a mile away. He was a little bit sporadic at times. He did knock down a 3-pointer. Yes, he did. And he made all of his free throws, 2 for 6 from the field tonight. So he took probably a few less shots than I thought he did. 4 rebounds tonight. He did get that technical we talked about. Look, he's our little psycho. It comes with the territory. He gets a little bit too amped, a little bit too in people's face tonight. And it can be a little, overboard sometimes, sometimes, and can get him in a little bit of trouble. But then there are those times where you scream, yes, 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 at KD Johnson. So I just know now that kind of comes with the territory with him. So not an outstanding night for him overall, but rather that. Other than my love for Gus, he's a great show. Well, he's part of our history and he's part of the Auburn family. So you should love him too, Big Simp. To the sunshine pumpers or to the doomsayers. Oh, that I try to stay somewhere in the middle. Well, most people would say I'm too. I think I get the most comments that I'm too sunshine pumping, which to me I wear as a badge of honor. But big question from Corey: do we have a tournament worthy team this year? It is way too okay. Let me answer that question in 2 different things. Off of rankings, speculation, supposed talent, yes, we have a tournament worthy team. Off of 3 games, have we seen enough to say this is a tournament worthy team? Tonight's game handled business, got out in front of someone, never gave it up, and then responded very quickly at the start of the second half to continue to just put them away. That's what tournament teams do. So based off tonight's game, yes, but when you look at it as a whole, there's some shooting deficiencies as a whole in the first 3 games that need to be addressed. We all see it. To me, honestly, if this team had shown better free throws percentage in 3 games, I wouldn't question it without, but there's some small things here that they have to do better as a team to make me say these guys are not only a tournament team, but they're a tournament team. Okay, so hear me when I say that. But small things win championships. Making your free throws, not losing the turnover margin, getting the rebound margin in your favor. Those win championships. Yeah. So the most direct, easy answer is yes, we are a tournament team right now. How big of one? How far will we go? How likely is it? That can all change. Yeah, I hear people talking about the Kentucky game. Sheboy played tonight for the first time, I think, at reigning SEC Player of the Year. Shouldn't have been. That was Walker Kessler or Jabari, one of the two. Jabari. But anyway, that's neither here nor there at this point. All right, I'll continue working down tonight. Here's the great thing. Some nights in previous years, I get through the lineup really quickly because we didn't play as many. Now we're playing 12 people. Trey Donaldson, and we've hit, for those of you that are getting here a little bit late, I see a lot of you are watching other things coming in now. We've hit some of the bigger topics, but if there's something that you want us to rehash or mention again, post that in the comments. Trey Donaldson, 5 points tonight, had a really beautiful reverse layup. He's a great athlete. That's becoming the big trend. Every commentator has like those things they go to on every broadcast. Did you know Jarrett Stidham's from Texas? Did you know Bo Nix got married? Those things. Here's the new thing. Did you know that Trey Donaldson is a dual sport athlete? He's a really good athlete. Seen him in person myself, not at a basketball game, at a practice. And I was really impressed with that little reverse thing he did. That's hard to do from that angle. It's a really good athlete. WT says we won't know how tourney worthy we are until we hit the SEC schedule. You can get your first probably inference of that right before SEC play when we go on the road to that USC Washington matchup. Hey guys, that'll be here before you know it. And that's like the midpoint of the season. Enjoy this while you got it. Yes, but SEC, and I would argue even further, WT, that SEC schedule, maybe past those first 3 or 4 games, you'll start to get an idea of what this team's going to look like. Still a long SEC schedule to go after this point, but yes, that's when you'll be able to make some things like that. Start a GoFundMe for the refs in the tournament. The ref tonight, when Dylan Cardwell had the blood running down his head, and Dylan's like, I'm right here trying to call time because I got a smear of blood running down my face. The guy was like, oh my gosh, time. We always joke about these refs being blind, but my goodness, it was bad tonight. We talked about Yawan tonight. I forgot. So let me reiterate this. Your leading scores tonight: Janai Bream 18, Wendell was 16, and Trey Orr with 11. I didn't think he was the second leading scorer. Zepp was up there with 8. It's an interesting mix of guys who are your leading scorers tonight. Alan Flanagan with a somewhat quiet night again, but I think doing a lot of things that get missed. 6 points tonight, 5 rebounds for him. Gets an assist and in about 20 minutes of play. His athleticism continues to be displayed. They talked about that on the broadcast tonight about how good he grades out combine-wise or scouting-wise with his athleticism. He's going to continue to get more opportunities. I'm not saying he deserves a start or anything like that. I'm just saying there's something very honorable and very good if you can catch hold of that 6th man type of role, and it can be anybody on this team, but I think Allen can really seize that if he doesn't move into the starting lineup. Babatunde got into the game tonight, didn't score any points in only 4 minutes of play, but great to see him get an opportunity to be there tonight. And then Dylan Cardwell, we talked about him a few times, 100% from the field, 3 for 3. 6 rebounds, and he had quite a few blocks as well. Let me click on him and see. 4 blocks. So right behind Janai with 5 blocks tonight. So it was a block party out there. Who's going to be the stars that will go pro this year? My opinion. Well, it's a good question. I mean, Allen's going to go pro because he's a senior. I guess technically he could come back for a 5th year if he wanted to. I don't see that though. So I think Allen would go to the draft. Would he get drafted at this point? Probably not. But that's what going out and earning on the field is there for. I think Janai probably gets drafted, right? Based on what I've seen so far. Chance Westry just got here. Trey Ward just got here. So it's really hard to make inferences that way. So I'd say right now it's probably Janai. It's your best chance to get drafted, but you will see those 2 names, Flanagan in draft situations. We are 20 minutes, 224 replies. So disappointed in our meme game so far. Hopefully it picks up in league play. Yeah. It's going to probably, our streams are going to be on the low end until. Here's the great thing about SEC play. It's the same every week. It's like football. Everybody knows the schedule: Tuesday or Wednesday night and Saturday afternoon, night, whatever. So it's going to be a little bit of time before we get into real meme conditioning, real post-game reaction shows. If you join us or someone else conditioning, it's going to take a minute. That's very good. Devin, you need to call in after one of these games sometime. That's what it's down there for. Love to hear from some of our super boosters tonight and above. Let's see here. Westry showed some flashes of what he can be. Glad he's getting back out there. Yeah, expect him to take a little bit of time to get completely right. Tonight he was a little bit foul happy, which I'm not surprised by, but that's just kind of what comes with it. Let's see. All right, we walked through the individual stats. Let me talk about a few more of the team stats. And we will, I'm what? And then we'll go from there. We already talked about the shooting stats tonight. Overall, except for free throws, a lot better shooting percentage tonight. Maybe some still things to complain about in that area. Only 8 turnovers for the Tigers tonight, protecting the ball. Now, granted, Winthrop only had 11 turnovers as well. But still, that's impressive that the Tigers only gave it. And one of those, I think, was turnovers at the last minute, too. Points off. No, we don't have to do that. Rebound margin. Listen to this, folks. I'm surprised I haven't brought this up earlier. 33 rebounds for Winthrop, 53 for Auburn. Wow. That's a big margin. To me, from everything we've talked about thus far tonight, that's the biggest thing. That's what separated Auburn tonight. So if you break that down defensively, Winthrop had 17, we had 28. Offensive rebounds, 16 to 25. I mean, it's pretty even there, proportions wise, but that's a good night, especially in your home court. That's what you want to see. If a number similar to that, maybe not is going to be as good as that, translate to some of these away games on tougher teams, Auburn's going to put themselves in really, really good position. I think the meme thing will die sooner than later. Personally, I'm over it. Kind of get watered down when we lost and memed ourselves, and when football took down Penn State. I get that, Dusty. I do. I think it'll. I think Devin said it earlier. It'll reignite after time. I actually was not. I'll be honest with you guys. Even though I interviewed Auburn memes who kind of got this started on Twitter, I was really not into it. I'm kind of into it now, and that's my life story. I usually don't get into things until after they're not cool. That's just my life story. It holds true even here. Garrett says that Chance Westry will be our best player at the end of the season. Is this a bad take? Garrett, it's not a bad take, but it's a rash take, meaning that's too quick to say that. We do this, and I'm not saying you, Garrett, I am saying about what you said here, but I'm taking this on a fandom wide, even outside Auburn. We put these ideas in our heads that these guys are going to be this or be that. And a lot of the times they are. We all thought that about Jabari, and it lived up to the hype and then some. I would just hold the phone on chance until we actually see him completely good from his surgery, in what role he's going to serve here, whether that means coming off the bench or starting. And then let's make that call if he's going to be the best player at the end of the year. But just off of one game, I'd say it's not a bad take, it's a rash take. John, did you just get here? We've been here the whole time, buddy. I saw your one earlier and said, "Where am I?" I was like, "I'm still watching the game. It's still on right now." Let's see. Kyle, you want to grab me? Want me to grab you one of those Star Wars hockey jerseys? I saw you posted it. I think I liked it, didn't I? Yeah, I'm a big. I think I've said this here. I got another wall of stuff over here behind it. It's pop culture, Star Wars, Marvel, other pop culture things too that I really am a big fan of. So I love Star Wars. All right. We're almost done working through some of the stat lines here tonight. We talked about the rebound margin, second chance points, 19 tonight. Bench points was pretty good from Winthrop too, but Auburn again does very well in this area, 39 points, which you would expect when you're rotating in 11 guys in significant time. Blocks tonight, 11, 7 steals, and 17 assists from the guys tonight. Very, very good. Let's look at really quickly who shared the ball really well. Wendell, as you would expect. Jalen Williams, Katie Johnson sharing the ball really well. We did say that KD tonight, probably more the bad side of him came out tonight, which is part of being our little psycho. But you got to give the guy credit in this game and in some of the other games I've seen this season. There's been a concentration on this guy's part to really focus on doing what he does best and creating havoc in a good way, but also trying to be a better, not that he was a bad teammate before, but be the best teammate he can possibly be. I mean, sharing the ball and some of those crazy things you do driving. So credit goes to KD getting up there in the stat column too, or for assists. So 17 assists tonight. We were only tied for 20 seconds at the beginning of the game. And I actually scored the first points. There was that one lead change. So there we go. I've worked through the stats with you guys tonight. Again, points leader, Janai, rebound leader, Janai, Wendell Green with 5 assists. So there's all your leaders and stuff tonight. Almost time for work. Is it really almost time for work for you? Jeez. I'm in love with us being ranked 5th in a bunch of SEC power rankings. They're going to be very disappointed. Yeah, I disagree with I saw a lot of takes in rankings or power rankings for us to finish 5th. I don't see any reason for Auburn to not be considered in the top 4. I mean, it is really, and Kentucky, Arkansas race at the moment with Tennessee and Auburn close behind in my book. So we'll see. What channel or station? What are you asking, Bug? What are you asking? I'm not. I feel like sometimes I've missed like a part of the conversation when I see comments like that. Maybe I'm missing something. Can't wait to cut the nets again. Assist is an Auburn strength of this team. Rebounding is getting better. Yeah, listen. Auburn assists have been pretty good of recent history. Rebounds last year were very good, and it looks like it's going to be a strength this year so far. If that continues, really good. Oh, what channel is this? Yeah, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. mid-shift. Jeez, man. More power to you. Working hard. And I got your message in the Patreon app. I'll respond to that in a little bit. All right, so here's what we're going to do from here. We're sitting at about 45 minutes. Good conversation so far. We're going to start rounding it out. Don't run off. Just a second here. Let me give you the normal stuff at the end of the show. But get some last-minute comments and questions in here. If there's something that you're just now getting here that you wanted us to talk about or mention again, post that right now. Let me go ahead and give you what to look forward to next here on the channel. By the way, we posted a video today about Suni Lee and her announcement that she's got one more season left at Auburn. Go check that out if you can. Leave a comment. Speaking of which, be leaving comments on every video you can. To clarify, your live chat comments right here don't count. But if you're watching on the replay, or if you immediately leave the live stream after we're done here, come back in and just post something relevant to this comment, that's going to be an entry into our subscriber giveaway. So you've got to be subscribed and leave comments on as many eligible videos as possible. That is how you I see a lot of people not taking advantage of it. Every single video you need to leave a comment on since the start of the contest. There is a description link if you need rules and regulations, stuff like that. Next live stream is tomorrow night, Auburn Family Night, 11/16. That's the right. Yeah, that is the right date. Panicked there for a second. Open mic night. Call in. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Super excited. I will tell you guys this, and we'll get back to basketball here in just a second. Our official start time is 8 p.m. I have kind of been toying with starting a little bit earlier, more often. So my advice to you is this: if you like to have the whole experience, maybe be ready for it to start early. Maybe even tomorrow night. I don't know. I can't always guarantee I'm gonna be able to do that, but I'm toying with the idea of starting it earlier and going longer because I love Wednesday night calls because I don't have to plan jack diddly. I just show up and we talk together. It's my favorite night, honestly. I love basketball reactions live streams. I hope that comes through. I love talking basketball, but I love our Auburn family nights on Wednesday night. So 8 p.m. is the time that you need to keep in mind for that, but just know that I might start early. Check out links in the description. Be a channel member, $1 a month. You can be a Booster Club member too and have access to call-in links for live streams like this at the Super Booster level. Check all those things out in the description if you can. Would be very much appreciated for you doing that. All right, let's look at some final comments and questions here. Yeah, politics on Twitter is just on anything is just boring, in my opinion. Doesn't really do anything for me these days. No grandpa or dustbuster comments. Did we get some of those? I didn't think we were getting any of those tonight. I just want the baseball pennant. I could get it signed by some of those players. Well, hey, leave a comment on every single video and you'll maximize your opportunity to win because you don't know. The video I made explains, and the rules in the description of that video explain everything on how it works. The main thing you need to know is be subscribed. Leave a comment on every video that you can. All right. Some of these aren't related to the basketball, but I'll take them. Can she take online courses? I wanted her to be an Auburn graduate in the future. I discussed that in the video. Go check it out. There's some precedent set with that. Oh, Kentucky just lost. Oh, we love. Somebody go blast their post-game tweet. Somebody go blast that. That's always great to see. All right. Big takeaways tonight from this stream, from this post-game reaction show. Better shooting night. Winthrop got Winthropped. That's a word. Not really the fight that I was expecting to see out of them tonight, but I do think they will be a better team by the end of the year. So don't take a big definitive stance on Auburn's this good or Winthrop's that bad. Janai Broom had himself a night tonight. Wendell Green as well. Great to see Chance Westry getting in on that thing. It is going to be a fun year, y'all. We're only 3 games in. Is it 3 games or 4 games of this? 3 games. Gosh, it's so good to be talking about basketball. Is it 4 games in now? I think it's 4 games now. But I love talking basketball and hanging out with you guys and random nights during the middle of the week. So with that being said, folks, thank you guys so much for being here tonight, hanging out with me on another post-game live stream for Auburn basketball. See you tomorrow night. Don't miss it, 8 p.m. for Auburn Family live stream call-in show. Would love to see some of your smiling virtual faces there or smiling faces on the call-in link. Thank y'all so much for being part of our little family within the Auburn family. Smash that like button on the way out. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.